Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about how to file a legal complaint. First of all, look up your jurisdiction, your county and your state. Find the website for the courthouse in your county, and that website will most likely have the court rules you need to follow when filing the legal complaint in your local district court. Assuming this is a civil issue or a state issue, you're most likely going to file there. If it's a federal issue, then you'll do something else, but we won't talk about that here. So you'll go to your court's website, you'll get the rules on how the complaint needs to be written. It'll usually give you like font size, formatting, but if you're filing it pro se, many states will waive the fact that you messed up the font, you screwed up the format. They'll still accept the complaint sometimes from pro se people to try to make the legal system more accessible. Sometimes they won't though, so it depends on your jurisdiction. That's always a lame thing to say, but it does. By the way, my mother-in-law painted this painting. It's beautiful. So after you figure out how you're going to write the complaint, you're basically just going to write a plain and simple what happened and what do you want as a result. Do you want some damages, some money? What do you want the outcome to be? You can keep it very simple. You don't have to attach any evidence. You don't have to attach any of the things you're referring to in the document. You could just state what the issue is plainly, and then what you want the outcome to be, and sign it, date it, and take it to the courthouse. And that's basically it. The website will have more details on what you need to do in the document, but basically write a plain and simple, what's the facts, what happened, what law was broken. Of course, I forgot to mention this, but you also need to tell them about jurisdiction. So why should the case be heard at this court? Do you live there? Was the contract broken in this county? What is the reason this is the best court to hear this? And you may also want to include something called venue, which is why is it convenient for the case to be heard here? Is it convenient for all the parties that are going to be called in? Is it convenient for maybe a big company or somebody that lives far away? So you may want to address why it's convenient for the court to hear it here, to all the parties involved. A bunch of evidence, they just kind of assume what you're saying is true. So write it as if they believe what you're saying, and that later you're going to show them evidence of what you put in there, because they're assuming that you're not going to risk filing a frivolous lawsuit, because you could be sued for filing a frivolous lawsuit. There's a lot of bad things that can happen. You lose money, you could go to jail possibly. So we kind of assume at the beginning what you're saying is true. Later we'll bring on the evidence. So the original legal complaint is pretty simple. It's not that hard. You don't have to be an attorney. You can hire someone to write a legal complaint for you. If you go to upwork.com, or you can type in on Google freelance legal or paralegal workers and find someone to help you write the complaint. But they won't really give you a finished document. It'll be more like a draft document. So you may have to put a little bit, sign it, do some things, and take it down to the courthouse. Once you have the complaint, however you get it, if you hire someone online to do it, freelance, if you go to a lawyer to write it for you, if you write it yourself, you can take it down to the clerk of the court, or you can mail it to the court. And sometimes you can file it online, maybe an e-file option.